Hi everyone, and thank you for coming to the 2022 Religious Education SLAR meeting. So we're just going to go through some of the CBAs that were given and some of the descriptors we gave just to make sure that everyone was kind of in line with each other. So I'm going to start with a CBA that was around yet to meet expectations. Ellen, you said you had one?
Yeah, so the one that was done on Ronaldo was as a PowerPoint, and I'll just go through the different criteria on the rubric as to why I felt it was yet to meet. So the research, it was very limited, and I feel like some of the facts and information about it could have been a lot more detailed or even just elaborated on to more. And then the personal commitment, I said it was in line because you can see his commitment.
Yeah.
You can see Ronaldo's commitment as the Canadian Student Save the Children campaign. But yeah, again, it could be more detailed, I feel. And then reflection, there was little to no reflection personally on behalf of the group as to why and the impact that Ronaldo has made on himself. And then just in terms of the actual presentation, it was sort of organised, but I feel it was a bit dull in colour, could have been a bit more vibrant, could have been a few more images, maybe videos, media.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'd agree with you on that. So we'll just go around the group. Are we all in agreement for yet to meet expectations? Can I get a show of hands for yes?
Yeah.
And a show of hands for no.
Well, just the one argument I'd have is I thought the presentation itself, the layout was very good.
What did you give it?
I gave it 60, so I give it
And above.
yeah.
Okay.
That's just I just thought like the personal commitment. I thought it was a good idea. Ronaldo, we all know who he is and what he can do for charity,
Yeah.
but like Ellen said, the research probably wasn't just up to scratch.
And the grammar wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
There were a
I-
huge amount of grammar
I
mistakes.
am with Ellen on the yet to meet, because like I just went through it and like the research, a good few of their facts were incorrect, and like the whole charity work with Save the Children, like Ronaldo was dropped from that.
Yes.
And they're still including as if it was the present. I also thought the facts that they included were more about his football statistics than his journey of commitment and his worldview and faith, which I think is the main point of the CBA. And just the display again, there's pixelated images, there's changes of fonts, it's very hard to just keep engaging with.
Yeah, like I think the idea was good. It was a good idea.
I can see that point.
The insight was there, and the presentation wasn't too bad, but like
There's a lot of
There's definitely room for improvement.
Yes.
I'd say with a bit more. I'm not going to say a bit more effort into it, but a bit more.
Creativity, kind of.
I suppose
insight, a bit more insight into
yeah,
it.
more participation.
There's only one slide. There's only one slide in that presentation really that demonstrates his charity work.
Yeah.
And especially, I think they really need to work on the reflection action. There was little to none at all, which is a huge. That's 2 out of the 5 criteria that they need to hit.
What
So
I'm
I think nearly we can all agree that it
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to meet.
I'm
So,
happy enough to agree.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with yet to meet. Brilliant. So then if we can just move to one that would be in line to above. I think Cara, you had one for
I
that.
have one that I gave above.
Yeah.
That was the I think it was the Magnuson one.
Yeah.
So I gave them above when I looked at their research. They had very good research, use of primary and secondary resources. They really followed his trail of commitment insofar as what he has done for those in the community. It was clear, it was precise, very focused. They discussed his religious values, all of that was really good. I did think they needed to give a bit more time to reflection. They did reflect throughout, but a more overall reflection by the end would have been nicer to see. There was no action included for me anyway. I did not acknowledge or notice any action that they put in, but the presentation of it I thought was very creative. On Instagram, it was very well laid out in order, very good. They didn't give any links to the resources that they used, which was one of my issues as to why they are now above. 'Cause I don't know where you got the information from. I don't know if everything is correct, where the source is reliable. So I think they need to add that in for next time.
Yeah, no, so just going around the room, so Cara has above, I think we have a split on this one, so I feel some people were above and some people were in line. So are we willing to agree on above, or do we want to discuss further if we be in line?
Well, I went with in line.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Instagram page and thought it was a great way to present the CBA. But going back to, you know, the sources, I thought that was a big letdown, because going through the Instagram page, it did seem there was loads of detail. In fairness,
Yeah.
it was very detailed from start to
They
finish.
really did do their research.
Yeah, but it was like, then again, the evidence.
Yeah.
It's like, can we trust this? Is it? Yeah. And I suppose again in the Instagram, the pictures and detail is great, but I think what it would have enhanced it, and I suppose from even like from anyone to look at the CBA, like a YouTube clip or something like that.
I said the same thing for like Mary's Meals. They could have included a little clip from the documentary or something like that.
Or an interview of
Yeah.
him, some type of interactive.
Like the layout itself, it's quite easy to indicate what aspect they're talking about as well. But
For the layout, I kind of said one thing that I struggled with was there was not really a natural progression to Magnus's life. I felt like it very much jumped back and forth, like
It was
you
quite
were,
repetitive.
and it repeated, and I found that quite disorientating when you're trying to follow someone's journey of commitment,
yeah,
to be jumping from A to B to A to B. You know, that's why I kind of agreed with Charlie on in line with that one.
yeah,
I-
I see where you're coming from now.
I think like the detail is evident.
Yeah,
There is a good level of detail in that
Yeah.
Instagram posts.
You give that exception.
I give it exception simply just because the number of posts that was put up onto the social media platform, and also if you just look at all the images, you can see the image itself, like it's very
Yeah, like if you click into it.
like it's very
Yeah.
just the images itself tells a lot, and a picture can paint 1,000 words, you know. And
I would have liked if they had maybe, because it's an Instagram post, tagged in the image the source, or put an extra slide that you can swipe and see
yeah,
all the
that would've
sources.
been-
I think that would have enhanced it a
I
lot
that would've
more.
been a lot
I think
better.
that would have been nice, and I also feel it's very text heavy, because like I know
Yeah.
like it's grand looking at it on the laptop, but Instagram is predominantly a phone, and when you click onto, you know,
You're going to be reading half.
you're not going to be, you're going to have to click into the extra bit and the extra bit.
Yeah.
So just trying to then go through it as a presentation, there's a lot of work, it's not a smooth flow. That's kind of why I kind of put it on in
the
line.
choice of imagery, and it's very hands-on in each of them photos, kind of describes the man he really is.
They clearly put a lot of time and
That's
effort
right,
into
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
That's
There
why
are a few things that they needed to enhance it. So this could either be an inline or above, which is what we need to establish if everyone's agreeable.
I
So
would
we
go
go to
in
the
line.
vote.
Yeah, I'd go in line.
So in line.
and
I
above.
think I'd go above. I think
above,
it
yeah,
was
happy
very
to go
good.
above. Look, I just thought overall the level of detail and the creativity
Yeah,
was evident.
they missed that little bit. to get them over
Yeah,
it.
One
yeah,
note.
the actions
That's
were
okay, yeah.
just missing, yeah.
So I'd
Perfect.
pop them in as above. So then we're going to move on to one that someone thought originally was above. So Charlie, I think you have one for that.
Yeah, that is for Group C2 on Nelson Mandela. I thought the research was above expectations. They provided, again, their links and a great level of detail. For their personal commitment, obviously Nelson Mandela and the impact he's had in the world, again, above expectations. Thought they provided very clear showing and telling of how he is a person of commitment. For reflection, what is learned, yeah, they did provide reflection throughout the Instagram. And for action, I thought it was in line with expectations, as they provided a bit of personal,
Yeah.
which is better than none, so in line. And their presentation I gave in line, because look, overall I was impressed with the overall CBA, and again we go back to Instagram, it was a very unique way to present it. The overall research of Nelson Mandela was impressive and showed great examples of inquiry and exploration, and again offered sources. And I suppose suppose I'll go back to what I said the last time. What I would have loved to see was a video or two on Nelson Mandela, because there's definitely loads of them on YouTube.
speeches, yeah.
Just would have added a bit of variety to the CBA and to the Instagram, and just made it that bit better. But I'd say above expectations.
I agreed with above for all of those reasons, so I'm just going to throw it out to a vote, and if we don't all agree, we'll go to a discussion. So who gave above?
I would give it a
And
I thought it was exceptional myself. I just think
what did you give it?
I give it exceptional.
Okay.
Yeah, 100, because if you flick through them the posts there, you'll see the creativity of the images that was in it. You can see the headline, like basically the title. You can see the title of what's each section.
And who did what?
Yeah, and what they discussed.
Yeah.
Whereas another Instagram post, it can be hard to find out what each post means and what it's about without clicking into it. See, and we just go into that, you can see straight away what it's about, what each section is about. And again, the level of detail that was there, the creativity, the reflection, the action and the presentation as a whole, I just thought it was amazing.
I agree with everything you say there, but could we nearly say they're expected to have these subtitles in?
Yeah.
Yes, the photos are brilliant,
For
and
the
Yeah.
presentation
Yeah.
wise, it's almost at the second year level. I feel like they're well capable of doing this, especially because they're a tech generation.
I wouldn't be like, I had above, but I had a low above. If that makes sense. So I put in with the display, the Instagram page is creative and engaging and interactive, but what second year student out there doesn't have an Instagram page?
Yes.
You know, so I wouldn't be blown away by
I
the
would
display.
like to see their action, like you said, they mentioned a small bit, but it was just, we will take this into our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
I would like to see them say, what will they do? And I think that was the difference between the above and the exceptional.
I agree on that, and like I also feel like a lot of the posts were very text heavy. Like as in, if I just click into one here,
I found this.
you have your caption is very short, which is nice. There's some tags, there's some all of that. But you go into wrong thing.
Yeah.
But you go in and you have a black screen with a lot of text.
Yeah.
It's quite small. There's no source on this one at all. And that's the same for a couple of the posts. There's no clickable links for the sources as well.
Yeah.
So again, hard to interact with.
Yeah.
And then I also found like there's a couple of editorial mistakes.
I noticed the
A
same.
lot of
Yeah.
a lot of grammar issues. I feel like this was.
However, I don't think I'd bring them lower than an above.
Oh no, I'd stick
I
to it
would.
above, but I wouldn't go
Right,
exceptional.
Yeah.
Right, so
will
we'll go
agree.
to,
I will
I think
agree.
everyone seems to be agreeing on
Agree.
both
Oh,
expectations.
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, lastly, just for an example of exceptional, I think James, you had an example for exceptional.
Yeah, so this group done their personal commitment on Paul Newman.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't actually know much about Paul Newman. And I just thought it was amazing. It just showed the research skills was excellently portrayed, because he's not well known. He's not known through advertisement or anything like that. So straight away you're onto a winner. And they presented it through Prezi, which again I never heard of that website. It's excellent. And you just see that you're flicking through the different angles and shots, and there's video clips.
It's very interactive.
Yeah, so the research, the personal commitment, straight away I just thought it was amazing, because he's not well known. The reflection was a good, decent level of reflection, a decent level of action, and then, again the presentation as a whole I just thought it was amazing. For that I gave it an exceptional. I think you see the colour in each, like it's very different. Each slide you go to, it's something different. It's not something. It makes you move on to the next slide. You know, I think that's very important when you're looking at a presentation, that you're staying engaged throughout. And you know.
Yeah, it was just excellent from start to finish. I don't think anyone could disagree on
The
that.
only thing, if you're being really, really picky, is the reflection. They gave some group work reflection. They gave some choosing the person of commitment reflection. I would have liked to see some reflection on the content they've learned. What did they not know, and what did they know at the end? And that would have really excelled them. Like
100%. Like I was struggling to give negative feedback, and not negative feedback, constructive feedback, because it was so well done. I think one thing for me, again, I would 100% agree with exceptional. I don't think anyone could disagree, but if I just flick onto the references side, this is where I struggled with their sources. Like NewYorker.com is a very general, where on New York, what year, you know, you'd spend hours trying to find
Maybe
it.
a link to what they were looking at.
Same. So that's one thing I struggled with a little bit, but other than that, it was
That's us being like
Picky,
nitpicky.
yeah.
The way I phrased it was, this presentation could be further improved. That's the way, like, that's the vocabulary you could be using if you're going to have any negative feelings towards it. I just think.
I did give it above expectations. I don't know what it is. Looking back at it now and seeing your feedback from it, I can see what I've missed.
Yeah.
But it just, I felt it was very text heavy, and I know it is a PowerPoint. But I just feel like the white and the black, it just. I know, as James said, there is the colour there and that. I just feel that there could have been something extra.
Yeah.
But then again, I could be nitpicking as well.
Yeah.
I could be just being very fussy, but I just.
But even
I do
like,
see what you
Paul,
mean.
The writing's very small there,
Yeah.
like, and there's a lot. Even if they did little bullet points, maybe little summary kind of.
Yeah.
And then again with reflection, I would love to see personal reflection kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had their own
I
little
did
separate.
mention that myself when I was giving
Yeah.
feedback. I did think
That was the
maybe.
one thing
Yeah.
that I thought.
Like fair if they did it on group work, but you want to see how this has impacted you, what would make you do in the future
Yeah,
if you want to go and help
they
charities.
did have an action, but it
Yeah.
was not related to the reflection.
No.
So that would have been.
I would also like to say, just knowing the group of students who are doing this, it kind of felt like there was no reflection on who did which
Who
role.
did what?
Yes.
And I felt when reading it, it came from
From the
one
same.
specific student.
Yeah,
Um,
I felt the same
Like,
as
I
well.
Yeah,
couldn't
there
mark it.
wasn't a doc
Yeah.
that said this person focused on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I couldn't mark it down because, you know, we don't know, but I would just be aware, are we marking an individual CBA or a group CBA on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it's something, we can't really do anything about it currently, but going forward into CBA2 and the collection of
Yeah.
texts, it will
It'd be
really
good to
highlight
see,
then.
But it
Again,
will be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
again,
who's
like
really
the
upset.
like that presentation itself, between the presentation using Prezi, which again is new to me, and Paul Newman, which is again new to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but you often hear these famous people through their roles in sport or in other areas, but this man was just completely different, not known through advertisement, not known in the public eye,
Yeah.
and that's why I just thought it was amazing myself.
Yeah.
I think we should go to a vote.
I think I'm going to vote exceptional.
Yeah,
Exceptional.
I would do exceptional. So.
Excellent, yeah.
Looking back at the feedback, I can firmly
Yeah.
agree with it.
Perfect. So overall,
Yeah, so
we gave what yet to meet
we
2
have
aboves and exceptional.
yet to meet 2 aboves and exceptional, and that really brings the SLAR meeting for this year to a close, unless anyone else has any comments or questions or concerns.
Thanks for this.
No worries. We always need a bit of refreshment for these. So that's the 2022 SLAR meeting complete.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.